to one more thing. We may run a little bit long, but magazines, Boys Life is always a good one. Camping life, oftentimes it's individual issues oriented toward like RVs and trailers and such, but they do have a lot of issues that are they're like camping gear, the latest camping gear, so that's good. Outdoor Life is a good magazine, although it's more hunting oriented, although it has good information. Then you have things like National Geographic Adventure, which is more getting out there. This series of books, Sleeping in a Sack, Fishing in a Brook, and all that, those, you used to be able to get those at the council office. And these are full of activities, primarily at the Cub Scout age level. Old books like you can find at a garage sale, Better Homes and Gardens, family camping, cookbook for family camping, stuff like that. One of the primary activities at a, you have to be careful, one of the primary activities that we haven't talked about at a camp out is the campfire. You guys will remember campfires for years. You know, songs, skits, even scouts who aren't comfortable like being in front of other people in a skit will tell a joke, and so sometimes it's like, well, just go around, everybody tells a joke, but then you get to yeah, we don't really tell adventure stories or anything like that. It's usually what they want to hear is a ghost story, but you have to be very careful. I've stopped stories midstream, you know, and just completely changed gear, because you don't want to scare somebody to death. And there are valid reasons for telling scary stories. One of the things is that once you've lived through a night after being scared by a story, then you realize that the scariest thing in the woods is you. and there's a little lesson there, and there's justifications like in the. But it's the Journal of the National Council of Teachers of English, and there's a justification why we should encourage kids to read scary stories. I mean, so there's been research done. It's like it's not a bad thing, but you just can't go overboard with it. You don't want to scare anybody to death. Scary stories to tell in the dark. It's one of 3 books like that. The reason why I like this is that it starts off and it seems like it's a scary story, but most of them are actually jokes. So there's like a punchline. Some of them are actually scary. You just have to pick and choose. But most of them, it's a scary story with a punchline. It's like, oh, that's all it was. You know, so those are okay. No, never any blood and gore, anything like that. You know, you don't want people thinking in those terms. But like good ghost story, that's a cool thing. Just don't take it too far. But the kids, they will want you to. It's like, tell us another, Mr. Grissom. You know, and it's like, okay, well, like, that one didn't scare, so crank it up a notch or 2. You know? But still being very careful. There's one thing I wanted to show you. And because actually we're almost out of time. They didn't give us the 5-minute warning, did they? No. Okay.
They fell asleep.
While this is going, and this is a clip from a movie called Mr. Scoutmaster from 1954. And it has like an idyllic camping experience in it. And it touches upon some of these things that we talked about. And you'll notice in here that there's a part where your youth protection training will go, oh, you can't do that. Yeah. But here he goes. And while this is going on, if you would fill out the evaluation form,